slaves to the north, that he could not be free, having escaped to the north, where black Americans were free, because he was an escaped slave from the south. So the Supreme Court ruled against giving Dred Scott freedom, which again was something that ramped up tension between the abolitionists and the free labour vision of America. So this is something that's going to cause them a fair bit of upset there. So back over to the map. What we've got then is we've got lots of tensions growing. We've got the South that sees the future of America as one of slavery, and we've got the North that very much sees the future as a free labour vision for America. All right. Now, the key thing that comes out of this that is really, really important and leads on to the triggers, because all we've got so far is tension. We've not got a war yet, okay? So the key thing that leads on to this is after this Kansas-Nebraska Act, where the free labour vision is really challenged by people like President Buchanan, you've got a party emerging who want to represent only the free labour vision for America, okay? And these are called the Republican Party, and it's a northern movement, and what it's basically saying is that America is for hard-working people who want to own the land, farm the land, and make a life for themselves, okay? Now, this is a party that represents the free labour vision, okay? The idea that America will go westwards and it will be for hard-working farmers or businessmen, not for lazy slave plantation owners who want to make money on the back of slavery. Now, obviously, whereas political parties in the past had represented a much wider area of America, so you'd had votes for different political parties in the South and the North, you now have a party that is going to be mainly for the North, okay? So this political party, the Republican Party, is going to get most of its votes by campaigning on a free labour vision for America, not on a slave labour vision. Now, the problem with that is that this party is elected in 1860. It becomes the government, and the leader of the party, Abraham Lincoln, becomes the president of America, okay? So basically, what you have is a northern party running the country and a northern president. Now, this is unacceptable to slaveholders in the South, because remember, slaveholders in the South, if we think back to Andrew Jackson and people like that, Andrew Jackson, the man who removed the Native Americans from the states around the southeast to open it up for cotton production, we must remember that the Southerners have always had considerable influence in the US government. And now they can see that they have totally lost this influence because the party in charge is the Republican Party, and that represents Northerners and it represents the free labour vision. Now, Abraham Lincoln hasn't said he's going to end slavery. He's hinted at it. He's hinted that he doesn't particularly like it. But at this stage, nothing's been said. But the idea that the slaveholders have lost influence in the government is not acceptable to them. And so what we get is them deciding to secede, to break away from the Union, okay, and form their own government down in the South and form the Confederacy, which is in effect forming a separate country. Now, in response to this, Abraham Lincoln says that this is illegal and that this will basically lead to war. But there's not been any shots fired until the South attack Fort Sumter, which is a US government fortress in the South, and the war begins. So, to summarise really quickly, what this is about is, yes, it's about slavery in some ways, because slavery underpins all of the tension that's going on. The South don't want to lose it, but many people in the North see this as either an absolutely horrible thing that needs to be abolished as soon as possible, or they see it as something, if you've got a free Labour vision, that's quite outdated and old and needs to be got rid of and will probably disappear quite naturally. So, to sum it up, you've got this clash of visions in America, right? And as America grows, this clash of visions is really brought to the foreground of it all. Okay? Now, that's about it.